We continue Game Time live at the NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV. Boogie, Oogie, Oogie.
Get down.
Indeed. And indeed, not enough time for 3D to sing, and I've heard Zeke do it. We don't want that either. Game 2, Boogie gave everything he had, and then seemingly maybe more than the body was ready for. Game 3 and 4, not so much. Down in the rotation in that moment. No KD. They need the momentum, and Draymond said earlier today that energy was huge and important, and both and the man providing that energy. Sit down with Kristen Lello.
After Game 5, you emphasized over and over again that this is all bigger than basketball. What about this series has made that true for you?
We've seen almost every type of obstacle so far in this playoff run, and we're just still we're still fighting through, like obviously, and it just shows the character of this team. It shows the fight in this team. It shows the drive. So that's all we can do at this point.
How then do you shift the focus back to basketball with history on the line in this series?
Well, one, that's the main goal, to come out and win a championship. So we've had a lot of distractions. We've had a lot of adversity, a lot of ups and downs. So have to find a way to, kind of zone those things out and remember the task at hand.
You've gone through the rehab and recovery process more than once this season. How are you feeling physically at this point?
I'm fine. I mean, if I was on one leg right now, I would say that I would give you the same answer. But I mean, I'm fine. I'm good enough to play. I'm gonna leave it out there on the floor.
Then what did you see at the start of Game 5 that allowed you to be so effective offensively?
Just came out and tried to be aggressive. My teammates have, continued to preach that to me, to stop being so hesitant with, the way I've been playing. So just try to come out, be aggressive. And, my intention every time I step on the floor is to always try to make the right play. So just continue to do that.
What will be the key then, as we're sitting in Oracle Arena for the last time you're playing here? Anyone's playing here. What will be the key to forcing a Game 7?
Come out, play the right way, play both ends, play off the energy of the crowd. I'm sure it'll be electric. And just leave it on the floor. Leave it all on the floor.
Thanks, DeMarcus. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Kristen, Boogie, thank you very much. So in game number 5, offense, even athletically at the basket, seemed to be more aggressive, and the team's been talking to him, DZ, about not being, as timid, and I think some of that has to do with not knowing what his body could give him, right? So there's a little of that. Plus, offensively, we know he's not going to be the dynamic scorer he can be after missing so much time. So what can we really expect in Game 6?
Well, first of all, listen to his teammates because they really do want him to be aggressive. It's the first time, we talked about it earlier in the playoffs, this is the first time when Boogie's not 1A, B, or C on the floor. So that's a part of hesitating too because he's so used to the offense being ran through him. So now, tomorrow night, be aggressive, play your ball game. I think Steve Kerr will bring him off the bench again. I think coming off the bench, letting the flow of the game start, Zeke, gives you an opportunity to look and see when he checks in, he can be effective right away.
This is what I'm expecting from Cousins, 3D. This is his third game now in the series. The first game, he was good. Second game, a little, and now I think he's ready for that explosive game. I mean, this is a guy who's capable of getting you 20 to 30 points on any night when he's ready, when he's right, and he's healthy. And I think he's gotten a feel for this series. Defensively, he still struggled a little bit in the pick and roll. Okay, he struggled a lot.
He struggled a lot, yeah.
He struggled a lot. I mean, they were going at him. But the thing we know about Cousins, he has major pride. And when he sat there and he watched the film, and every time they switched and he was guarding Lowry, and Lowry would get around him and score, I think he's going to be better defensively. And I think he's going to be significantly better offensively. And we may see the Cousins tomorrow that we are used to seeing, when he was back in New Orleans. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a monster game tomorrow.
I'll tell you one thing. I think today and tomorrow and every day moving forward, Warriors fans will want the lasting memory of Oracle to not be Raptors fans singing "Oh Canada" in their building,
good call.
which is the way it looked like it could have been. We continue our game time coverage here at the NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV. Oracle Arena has been the home for the NBA Finals now for 5 consecutive years, and in its last roar, it will be an NBA Finals game. It's the 3rd time that's ever happened. The previous 2 times in NBA history, they were wins, including Zeke back at the Silver Dome in a victory.
Absolutely. We wanted to definitely win for the fans and leave it the right way.
All right, well, we'll see whether or not they're able to leave this one the right way. I'm not crying, you're crying. Maybe the headline as we take a look back at the history of this great building.
I remember how it all began. I was a brand new home for the East Bay fans. Before I was Oracle Arena, I've gone by many different names. Oakland Alameda County Coliseum Arena, the arena in Oakland, and Oakland Arena. But people in the town refer to me simply as the Coliseum. Famed architect Frank Lloyd Wright once said, "The longer I live, the more beautiful life becomes." That thought perfectly sums up my journey. Old age is truly inescapable, and my time is up. Pretty soon, my extended family will find another place to congregate. My team, another court to boss.
That's just some good old-fashioned physical play.
But save your tears for someone else. My life has been filled with proud moments.
Golden State champions of the NBA once again.
And failure.
The greatest comeback in NBA Finals history is complete.
Despite the roller coaster ride, it has definitely been one for the books. My bland gray walls and cold concrete stairs may look outdated in comparison to sleeker, newer venues, but much like the city I have called home for 53 years, they symbolize a strong foundation and resilience that is not easily mimicked. The Warriors are my family, my soulmates, and my best friends. We've seen a lot, and we've been through the trials and tribulations that any real relationship encounters. Yet, through it all, we remain true, and our bond can never be erased.
We represent each other real well on the court.
It's stolen away by Richmond. This is Hardaway, the shovel ball, and got it. Richmond explodes. Oh, brother.
Those years after Tim, Mitch, and Chris left were tough. Even when the losses outweighed the wins, one constant that I could always count on was an entertaining brand of ball on the court and an equally as amusing cast of characters off of it. Just when it appeared as if we were on the road to another decade of futility, the brightest star I have ever seen in a Warrior uniform arrived in the form of Wardell Stephen Curry.
Outside Curry, 3. He is a flamethrower.
He, Clay, and Draymond have revolutionized the game.
He is the heart and soul of this team.
Lane corner 3. 60.
And their weight ripples throughout the league.
The championship is back in the Bay for the first time in 40 years.
Respect for OGs like me is rare in these times, so the love I've received in my twilight years is greatly appreciated. Who would have ever thought that my boys, the Dubs, would make me, a humble little stadium in the middle of the hood in deep East Oakland, the epicenter of the basketball universe? Watching these Warriors grow into champions before my very eyes has been the ultimate reward. All those memories of struggle and pain, our feelings of jealousy and envy were swept away by celebratory champagne.
It's crazy in here. That's what happens when you win 2 of them in a row.
And drowned out with shouts of jubilation. There was a time when my seats were only filled with hardcore Warriors fans or families taking advantage of affordable entertainment. That is, unless a hot team or a superstar player came to town. Nowadays, there isn't a night when I'm not filled to capacity with the hypest fans in the league. After all, I didn't get the name Oracle for no reason. As the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. But before the Warriors move across the bridge, all I ask is that the team completes the mission and breathes rarefied NBA air. 3 out of 4 is truly impressive, but 3 in a row, that would be a feat they can't touch.
There's a new dynasty in the NBA. The Golden State Warriors champions once again.
Oh yeah, just don't forget to turn the lights out when you leave.
As a fan, I think for all of us as kids and for everybody watching, and for people who didn't play like myself, it doesn't matter how old the building is or how much you stick to the floor with you or the seats were old. There's something about that relationship you'll always remember, but it's even more special from a player standpoint, what does it mean where you play in terms of that when you spend years with a team, and not just the building, but let's be fair, not to speak for the person who spoke for the building, but the people in the building, right?
Yeah, I think, Isiah, you can help me on this. And when you first get drafted by a franchise, that franchise normally has a closer thing to your heart. But then if you get traded a couple times or you sign with a free agent for a new team, like this build behind us, then you understand what that piece is all about. Because when they were terrible, they still came and supported this franchise. When they had Run TMC, that building was rocking. I played against them. So all those ups and downs and ebbs and flows of trying to tweak your franchise to be a champion, and now your last 5 years you go out with a hoorah, that's why tomorrow night that place is going to be rocking.
You can't replace the memories that happen in this building. You can build a new place, but what you're leaving behind in terms of generational memories, traditions, customs, everyone who was in the building, that friendly hello, that janitor look, that the guy who's selling the popcorn or the woman who's getting the peanut. I mean, all those looks, familiar faces, that's gone. And that will never be replaced. There will never be another Oracle. There will never be another place like this. Now, you'll have a better seat.
It won't feel the same.
But it won't feel the same. No. But that's what you're going to miss. That's what you're going to miss. And some things you just can't replace, and some things you can't repeat. This is one of those buildings that you can't replace or repeat.
Replace or repeat, his article Risk or Reward and 3D's philosophy is coming at 3dballerbrand.com. Our NBA Finals coverage presented by
There's
YouTube
that new
TV
building. There it is.
Continues. Hey, I bank with Chase.
So do I.
I guess we all do.
We look at the most total points in a single postseason in NBA history. Well, these are good names.
Wow. Those are some big names right there.
To join that group is a pretty darn good group. By the way,
that's a nice
quite a team that would
man.
make. I was just going to say, you got AI and that MJ guy in the backcourt, LeBron.
Put LeBron at the 4
and Kawhi
at the 3. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that would be a game where I would say before I would be my hamstring. I ain't feeling that good. I would call up the coach and say, hey, coach, I don't think I feel good today. I can't play today.
Hey, eventually you would need a bench. Perhaps you would go to this man, a guy who's been a star so far during this run for the Raptors, Fred VanVleet, who is with our Kristen Ludlow.
How did you respond when you were told that there would be a Fred VanVleet watch party in downtown Rockford?
I just laughed. Because I know where I come from, and I know how the city was when I was growing up. And if you would have told me that 10, 15 years ago, I would have laughed again at you and said there's no way that'd be possible. So just amazing how far we've come, and that's a big accomplishment for our city.
The smile looks great, but you've still got the bandage on the face. How are you feeling physically at this point after coming back in Game 5?
I'm good. I feel good. It was great to be back out there. Obviously, I missed most of the fourth in Game 4, so to be back out there competing. Obviously, I feel a lot better if we had won, but it's good to just be back on the floor competing, given the circumstances, and having a chance to try to win a championship.
And it was just a one-point game. So as you all have had the chance to watch film, where do you feel that the opportunity was missed?
I know there's a lot of, talk about the last 2-3 minutes of the game. They made 3 threes. We could have probably made their job a little tougher from our standpoint. But if we just score another point or two, we win the game. So I think it was 9-2 the last 2.5. And if it's 9-4, we're NBA champions. So late game execution has got to be better. Offensively, it's got to be better. And then defensively, just trying to eliminate some of those breakdowns and can't give either one of those two guys any free looks, and we gave them 3.
You are still, though, just one win away from a championship. What will be the key to establishing the tone at Oracle tomorrow night?
Be a big first quarter. It'll be a big first quarter to set the tone and see what type of game it's going to be, establish our physicality. I thought we were trying to adjust to the whistle a lot, last game instead of just playing through it. And getting out there, getting our pressure into the game and getting our offensive rhythm and our flow and just trying to be better. So we didn't play very well. We know that, and we feel that, and we watched the film. And so now it's just going out there and trying to perform at a high level.
Thanks, Fred. Good luck.
Well, thank you.
All right, Kristen and Fred, and look, I think what he talks about, we'll talk about a lot tomorrow, I'm sure, pregame, withstanding that onslaught that's going to come with that energy from this crowd and from that team. But I want to get back to Kawhi for a second here, because you guys have played with greats, against greats, have got a Hall of Fame great here on set. When you sit there and look at Kawhi, how much do you now watching this marvel even more that we've got the draft next week. This was a defensive player who couldn't help you much on offense, who has become a bucket getter big time in the clutch.
What's so funny is that the kids today can look at someone and say, this is where the beginning was, and this is where he is now, and there's more basketball left to play, Isiah. So the fact that when you come in the draft, you were looked at as being a 4, maybe a 3, we're not sure how good your jump shot. Wait a minute, he didn't have a jump shot coming into the draft. So it's all been about hard work for me. Yes, he's part of the Spurs, and Steve Smith and I were talking about it. This reminds me of Tim Duncan.
Oh.
Never too high, never too low. I really don't want to talk to the media. I'm just going to hoop and let my play speak for itself.
I mean, that's a perfect analogy in terms of his temperament and who he is in terms of his personality. The thing for me that I marvel at about him is that, he's a guy that you can honestly say he didn't come to the NBA looking for the nightlife. He didn't come to the NBA looking for lifestyle. He came to the NBA every year trying to get better, and he's still not looking for the nightlife. He's still not looking for the lifestyle, but what he is, as you said, Kate, he is a bucket getter, and the work has paid off.
There's a nightlife in the NBA?
First
I've heard of this.
Where you been?
Well,
Not sleeping enough at night.
Where's that tonight?
Easier to get sleep in the NBA than it is to find a way to stop this from happening from 3. More from Oracle.